and could definitely use some improvements this year. And Dak Prescott expects the team to address those needs in the draft this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some great leaders. We just went and made a defensive change. So I'm trusting, obviously, the front office and the people that do that job. They drafted me, so I believe in those guys and think they know what they're talking about. But obviously, I think it'll be a heavy defensive draft for us. I just think it's obvious you go defense, and we just make our team better over on that side.
Yeah, the defensive side of the ball is the side of concern for the Cowboys.
And then just go all in on it. If you can land one of the two corners, if you look at your recent drafts, now you don't have to worry about that for years. Safety, D-line, and just next 8 picks. They could use a tight end later. I could see Dallas going corner, edge rusher, tight end, then all defense.
Well, their offense was rolling before Dak Prescott went down last year. They have Amari Cooper. They have CeeDee Lamb. They have Zeke. They have Michael Gallup. They have Blake Jarwin. And they had the 28th ranked scoring defense and 23rd in total defense last season. So even if they went like Carolina did and went all defense, I would get an offensive lineman because their offensive line is aging. Yeah. I would get an offensive lineman later in the draft. But focusing on defense is definitely, and it's good that Dak said this as well, because for fans, sometimes that can be jarring. Like, whoa, we went all one side of the ball, or like really heavy on one side of the ball, even though you are aware that that's a thing of need. Offense is more exciting, and we can get really caught up in the skill positions and, tight ends and things like that. So this is definitely something that the Cowboys need to invest in. And, the Cowboys are a flashy team. And it's not really that flashy to go all defense, so.
No, and they should go boring. They should do interior defensive linemen and safeties and a tight end. It's a completely boring draft. I'm not sure if they're capable of that, but this should be, they've got plenty of flash. Right. And they pay all that flash.
Exactly.
Go get safeties, interior defensive linemen, and a tight end.
You don't have to be the story of the draft. Be the story of the season.
Boom. That's a new motto.
That's what they call a bar, Colin.
What bar meaning a good term or a sentence? What does that mean, a bar?
It's a bar, like it's a good line.
And you need a good line at the bar. So
No, not like for that bar. No.
What? Am I
wrong?
Got
confused. Yeah.
Was that outrageous? Was somebody?
It was a clever saying, but that's not like a bar is like. I don't know Ryan, will you help me? It's a good line. Like
you got a good line.
Got a good line.
Good
yeah,
bar.
That.
Good bar there. So lit.
The Falcons have been the focal point of the draft, although the Niners have kind of stolen all the headlines the past couple of days. But we really feel like it starts with the Falcons at 4, because what they do can kind of really determine the rest of the draft. The Patriots are in the mix to possibly move up. According to Jeff Howe of The Athletic, New England's pursuit of a quarterback is not slowed down, and Justin Fields is their likely target. They have spoken to Atlanta about making a move up to number 4. This would be...
I keep hearing that, but Atlanta's driving a hard... if I can get Kyle Pitts, it's one thing if I could get a nice guard or not. If I can get Kyle Pitts, what do you have to give me to move off that? I don't think Atlanta's going to... I think Atlanta would move, but Atlanta's saying, I have the second best player in the draft.
Can we put that back up? I don't think that New England needs to move up to number 4 to get
Either
Justin
do I.
Fields.
Either do I. But
who's going to your point, who's going to give Atlanta enough to move to number 4?
By the way, Carolina could move down. I could see them potentially if, let's say Slater's gone or Penei Sewell will be gone, and I could see, the Lions doing what the Lions do. But to move off Kyle Pitts, who next to Trevor Lawrence is the lock in the draft, you would really have to back the truck up for me.
What about this, though? So we know first 3 is going to be quarterbacks. Falcons, Kyle Pitts. Bengals not taking a quarterback. Dolphins not. Lions not. Panthers, if Penei Sewell or Slater is there, is not going to move and take that. So say the Broncos go with Trey Lance, because that's who they've been high on.
That's interesting.
Now the Cowboys don't take a quarterback. The Giants don't. The Eagles may not, or could possibly trade with the Patriots there. The Chargers are not going to. You're getting down in the draft. They might not have to move that far up to get Justin Fields.
Yeah, you can make that argument. Listen, I think...
Outside of the top 3, there's not that many teams between the Patriots and
right.
the top 3 that need a quarterback.
We talked about it. Belichick tends to be patient. My guess is Belichick, there's no reason for the Patriots to make a move now.
Right.
Just watch the draft.
Right.
So if Atlanta doesn't go quarterback, and we don't think they will, just sit there and wait. Because I think Carolina's bluffing. I think Carolina's telling you they take a quarterback. I don't think they're taking. Now, and by the way, if you have Justin Fields and Trey Lance the same, the only concern for New England is Denver is going to take a quarterback.
Right.
The only concern is, do they
take Justin Fields?
Yeah, I mean, if you like Lance and Fields. So I do think if both quarterbacks, Fields and Lance, are available, I do think they'll move up to 8 because Carolina's doing the heavy bluff, but now they've moved. Think about this, Joy. Why did they move Bridgewater yesterday? Just think about this. So New England's probably saying, Carolina, you're bluffing. You got 2 quarterbacks. But if you move Bridgewater yesterday, which Carolina did, now New England's going, okay, now they may draft a quarterback. So I think that the Bridgewater move was very smart by Carolina. You weren't going to play him, but move him out a day before the draft. Now New England's like, well, they actually do need a second quarterback somewhere in camp.
Or they could like Justin Fields or Trey Lance more than Sam Darnold, and they're not afraid to have that kind of competition there.
All right.
So, yeah, you're right. That put a little pressure on them. So the Giants picked up Saquon Barkley's 5th-year option. This will keep him in New York through the 2022 season. He's recovering from an ACL tear last year. He suffered in week 2, but he's reportedly back on track to be ready for the start of the season. He missed time in 2019 with a high ankle sprain during the season.
Yeah.
But this is good news for the Giants.
Yep.
Obviously, he is the star and the engine of this offense. So it'll be good to see him back out there. But the Giants are a really interesting team to me this year.
Okay, I got to tell you, they're the one team we think is bad. Tell me all their holes. Their offensive line is fine. Their defensive line is excellent. The receivers now are good. The tight end's good. Star running back. Safeties aren't an issue. They could use a corner, no question, but their defense is pretty darn good. To me, they don't, you look at the Giants, if Joe Judge is good, if he's Brian Flores, and we kind of think we saw some stuff.
They have a new offensive coordinator, too.
So, Giants are not in that division.
So I keep telling everyone keeps talking about how bad the NFC East is. It's not going to be the same as last year. It's not going to look like it did last year. My
guess is by Monday morning, I feel the Cowboys win it and the Giants are second. Because Philadelphia is a mess. And no, wait, time out. No. By Monday morning, I think Dallas wins it and Washington and the Giants battle for a wild card. Yeah. Philadelphia's 4th.
Well, yeah.
The rock, paper, scissors coach, 4th. All right, Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd
Every time we say a
News.
division's great,